Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here with a little bit of a different video than what we normally do. We are going to run out and start a new industry. I've kind of been asked for some help with this stuff. So, well, I don't intend to do a lot of build videos or anything. This one's going to be a little different. Do a little bit of building for those who like that sort of thing. For those that don't, this video probably isn't going to be the one. I guess can't do much about that, but there you go. So we are going to do some track laying today. So we are headed out to the ironworks. That's our next industry in line. So nowadays, conveniently enough, you can grab an industry, and just kind of fly out in that direction before you get the telegraph boost in. So that's kind of a nice thing. Lets us get across the map a heck of a lot faster. For those of us who were playing back in the day when we had dev speed for a while, that was a neat feature. But I know a lot of people have always been asking for some kind of dev speed back, so this is kind of nice, and it does give us a nice aerial view of our surroundings. So that's kind of groovy. Lets you check some of the elevations too, or like the bumpiness of the terrain. If you run an industry over it, you can kind of tell what the ground is doing flat wise. A lot of this looks pretty flat over here. We are going to end up having to go obviously from the ironworks to the coal mine there, which obviously isn't very far away. Kind of one of the bummers of this placed industries map, I guess, is that there is not a lot of travel here, but whatever, we'll call that what it is. Just kind of head down here and we will drop in and see about getting started. So usually, I guess, I kind of have ideal setups that I like to use at the industries. Obviously, that all depends on what kind of room you have to work with. But when I tend to get started, I guess, usually drop off, pick up docks are the places where I tend to start with that. So turn around and get this lined up here. That actually looks almost pretty good. I tend to line it up mid off the dock, just how I start them. I think a lot of people have different ways. Now this doesn't have to be super close because this is a pickup, so we are going to have swinging cranes in here. Make sure we are in circle mode so things are straight. And then we'll start and stop those right at the ends of the dock. Just because then if you do have to adjust anything or whatever, you end up deleting something. It's a separate piece. That's kind of how I like to start them. And then we'll head over to this side. Do the same thing. Just how I tend to start industries. Alright, so all our drops are on this side. See, that should just work on both sides. Alright, this is drop offs. Oop, it moved. Let's see if it moved too much. Nah, it should be fine. Nice and straight down both the sides. Alright, so this is our drop off. Not that it super matters. Everything's pretty flat in here, so I don't anticipate having too many problems with things. We will throw in this to get our spacing right. There we go. I think we're going to be building this up to have some holding out here. I do anticipate by this point having to stick some of these trains somewhere, and keeping some on this end other than the depot is going to be nice. So we're just going to run out a few extra rails while we do this. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Not exactly sure there, but we're going to go with an ideal 3-track in here if we can get away with it. Do it on both sides, keep it nice and simple. Alright. run these out. There we go. It just keeps them all nice and parallel with a decent space in between them. Alright, then we'll get rid of that, that, and that. And then, how do we want to do this? Kind of see where we get a decent. That's probably decent, but how far back are we starting to get? Yeah, so we should have plenty of room. If we do something like that, and then this one we need right with a right. That should do that. Doodly doo. Cool. Still should give us plenty of room. Nice thing is we have a big huge industry here to work with, or big flat space, I guess is what I should say. It's not huge industry to work with, but we have plenty of space out here. This is one, obviously they were nice and friendly with the placement of this, so we'll go ahead and use it. And then we can get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. And we can get rid of some of this other stuff. Don't need that in the way. That'll give us a good look at what we're dealing with. And then we'll just come back through. Oh, there's a ninja tree. That's okay, we'll take those out now that we can actually see them. And then this will all just slip in here nice. Groovy. That one can stay. That one's gotta go. Alright, make sure none of this other debris is cut outable. There we go. That'll be that. So that'll be side and stop one, I think. Yeah, we still need to put an actual loop on there, but we'll wait and make sure that the sides are even. See, that's going to be a weird one sticking out of the track. Hopefully that doesn't mess with anything. Can't cut it out of there, so hopefully that's just a bushy type thing. Doesn't affect anything. We'll just see how it goes. Alright, then we need this one. We might be a little more restricted on space, so I think we'll go ahead and keep it right there. It's going to be a little tight on the swing over, but it'll work. Not going to give it as much room as we did on the other side, just because I don't want to run into getting too far into the wall behind us, or the hill behind us. Not a wall, but whatever. I want to have plenty of room to swing around over there, so keep it easy. The tracks are long enough. There we go. There we go. We got a holding, we got main, and we got drop off. So it's just kind of for me the way I like to ideally do them, when space is permitting and the docks allow, you know. Doesn't always work everywhere. The ironworks is kind of a nice one, and it's especially nice that they actually gave us the room out here to do something with that. A lot of the industries are pretty tight. Here we go, slot that in. And again, we're going to repeat what we did on the other side. Hopefully we can repeat that as fast as possible. There we go. Yeah, it should give us plenty of room to get the turn in. There we go. Lock that in. Did get word recently our next update looks like it's going to be mid-November. So I know people obviously were open for one here coming up. You know, always towards the end of the month seems to be when we look for them, but then it has been announced that mid-November looks to be the time. Supposed to be some fairly good stuff coming in the update, so we'll just have to see how that goes. What do we need here? We need a switch on the right that goes left. No. No. Wait. What do I want to do? How do I want to do this? I want to do this the other way around. Alright. Need to get this. There we go. Drop that one in. So I think in this case we'll get that attached, and then we'll get the inside one attached. We're going to do this side a little bit different than we did the last one, just because of this hill. I want to be able to get the curve in there. Alright. Hopefully all that works. There we go. Try and keep it moving. Alright, there we go. These outside holding tracks are kind of nice for, you know, whether you want to do fuel stuff along the outside rail or just holding whatever nowadays, decor, that kind of thing. Works out kind of nice, I guess. You could turn around and use the triple switch in here if a person felt like it. That would always be an option. Obviously, you can always do whatever you feel like. That's the joy of RailRoads, but it does work if that's the way that you like. I like having the auto flip ability in the switch, so I myself don't tend to use the triple switches. In fact, I don't think I've ever had a triple switch. I don't think I've ever actually brought myself to use one. I think I was gonna a couple of times, but I just don't. I just like the auto flip feature when coming back the other way. It's just less to worry about, so that's why you don't tend to see any of those on my layouts anyway. Not to say that they don't have their use, I just don't, you know, I haven't found a use for them that where I prefer it, I guess. Alright, there we go. Alright, groovy. Now we gotta figure out to where we get to about the same length. If these lines should be parallel, so who knows? That's gonna be the longer side though, for sure. We can do this. We could just do it the easy way, I suppose. Put that here, run this over to there, and see if we have the space. I guess this is a step I don't normally go through. I'm not that worried about keeping it super balanced most of the time. As long as it functions, that's all I really care. but I guess this being an easy way to keep it on the same length. Wow, that side's quite a bit longer. I suppose because I drug out this, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine because this is the pickup side anyway. That's the drop-off side, so there's going to be a longer side where you're just plopping it around. There you go. Alright, close enough. For me, anyway. Alright, now we need a stand off on the right side, and we're going to take our right, need the traditional, there we go. Boom. Not totally sure which this one is gonna be. Probably somewhere in this neighborhood. We'll find out here in a second. And it's actually going to be slightly less than that, so go figure. So it might run fairly tight, which is going to be a bit of a hassle, but that's what it is unless you're going to arc it outside. It's probably going to be a 35 or something like that to set it in. We'll see, but I got to put in that other switch over here before I do it anyway, so. This one, we want a switch that way. There we go. Alright, we'll go all the way across. And then we'll set this at 35. See if that works. Gets it done or not. Probably good enough. Oof. Actually, that bent really crooked. So we'll take that out. Instead of starting at 35, we'll start at 33 and see if we can get a better bend. Sometimes just trial and error to see what you get in the space you get. I don't have like an exact set. The sawmill I used to have a set. These ones I don't. That's for sure. So it's all, oops, just trial and error, I guess, sometimes. I'm sure somebody out there's got an exact set. I wouldn't be that picky about it. Alright, we'll try 33. Yeah, it was really close. Yeah, that's gonna do it. That's actually gonna give us a little more. So maybe 34 is actually the way to go. So what you can do in this one, you can just freehand it from here because it'll just clip it in anyway. There we go. Good enough. Takes care of it for me. Alright, that's that one. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing down on this end. I don't even know if I'm going to get as picked down there. Might just turn around and we'll see what we got for space down here to work with before we make any decisions, I guess. This is where dev speed would come in nice because it was just fun running, you know, back and forth much faster. Also give us the ability to catch trains back in the day, so I do kind of miss having dev speed even though you can fly. Alright, so if we go off of this side, that ends up with our two switches, whoops, two switches back to back, which I really Absolutely hate trying to do that. But we don't have a heck of a lot of options, so let's put that here and go with a switch left, and we'll just do it that way. Like it or don't like it, then that we can bring. This will come off this way and catch in with that other track there. So that'll be a piece of cake. And this one, actually 33 should do it. We'll do that, and we'll go over to this side. We're gonna need a switch going right with the stand on the left. Switch going right with the stand on the left. There we go. Ouch, that's gonna be a bit tight, I think. Let's see what we end up with. I guess that's not going to be a horrible hookup if it hooks up. There we go. We'll take it. That's how it went a little smoother. And then this is just going to run around and run off to the, this one should run around something like this. And it's going to run around to the coal mine over there. This is what it's going to do. This will run to the coal. Yeah, see, it'll be somewhere in there. We'll have the track. Probably spend a little more time working it out, but something like that. And then it'll attach. Actually, I don't even think it's going to attach, whatever. Probably just run one down one side and one back the other. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But for all intents and purposes, that is the industry, I think. Double check, make sure we got everything. Did put in a few switches, but like I said, this one's going to have some holding because we always end up dumping trains around the ironworks. Every time I don't do this, I always end up regretting it because I don't have anywhere to put trains, and then I just end up with them laying around. Generally not real super big on building huge yards, so I do like to have a little holding at some of the industries, and this is definitely one of them. So yeah, that's all in there. And then the one thing I tend to forget to do this, but you get the industry hooked up, which means you want to come back out here, be able to get out here easy enough. Make sure you put yourself a telegraph booth. Doesn't have to be in any great place or anything like that, but temporary, at least that way you can get back here and you don't have to keep flying around. So that's what I do, but there's an industry layout, and what I would tend to do, given the opportunity, space, and everything else at an industry. So I think with that one, we're going to call it a win and an industry put in. Remember, if you get a chance, then you can like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but sure do help the channel, and hope you all have a great day.